Cricbuzz Chatter at the end of day 3 of this test match. We've lost a lot of time to rain, to rather lethargic over rates, and yet this game has moved on. And if you had the full day's play available across 3 days, this would still represent significant progress with 23 wickets having gone down. India lead by 257. The track's just showing a little bit of up and down bounce, but not a lot. And England's belligerent approach means you don't really know what a good target is. So there's so much that can happen. The highlights there were of day 3 were Johnny Bairstow's wonderful innings, 106 from 140 balls. Siraj managed to be amongst the wickets. Bumrah 3 for 68, but Shami bowled beautifully. And then Pujara did what Pujara does. He just hangs in and hangs in and hangs in. And then Pant has come in and played another lovely little innings of 30. As usual, Michael Vaughan joins me to take us through the day. So we'll start off by where we were. We are actually 257 ahead. And the highlights, Johnny Bairstow. Let's go in chronological order, the way things happen, Michael. Johnny Bairstow must be, and you've experienced that in that 2002-3 phase. It must be a beautiful phase when you know you can get runs, you can do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I've just read an article by Shield Berry in the Telegraph over here, and he said that Johnny Bairstow surpassed Kevin Peterson as the most aggressive right-hander in the England middle order, and I'm not going to argue against that, because what we've seen in Johnny Bairstow in the last 3 Test matches is 3 consecutive hundreds in different circumstances. The first at Trent Bridge was just, it was one day star. The next one at Headingley was the next one was a little bit smarter, but still it was real hard hitting. I thought this one was special because he did have to go up and down in the gears. He started in real first gear. He had to fight, had to see off Bumrah, had to see off Shami. Whatever Virat Kohli said to him this morning seemed to spark him into life. I'm not too sure whether Virat realises that Johnny Bairstow is not someone that you want to spark. You want to stay very quiet to Johnny. Almost say to him, what do you need, Johnny? Do you need any food? Do you need any drink? Whatever you want, we'll give it to you. Just be nice to Johnny. But it was wonderful striking once again. And when you put into the context of the attack that he's hitting, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Shardul Thakur, Siraj, they're outstanding seam bowlers. And he's made them look very ordinary. And that's not diminishing those seamers at all. It's just the standard of what Johnny's staying playing to at the minute is at a level that I do think he inside those 3 games has put him right to the top of the echelons in terms of real powerful middle order players that have represented England.
What I loved most was he respected his form and he respected the good bowling in the opposition. So he didn't say, look, I'm in great form. You know what? I own the world. I can hit the ball from wherever it's pitched to wherever I wanted to go to. He respected the good ball, including when he was coming close to his 100, Bumrah's second spell, and he played him out, chose the balls, and never lost his shape, Michael. When he was hitting over the top, he was just going through with the shots. And it told me it was an intelligent innings, but England needed a little more alongside Johnny Bairstow to bring them as close to 416 as possible. And that lead of 132 is a little too much, you think, in retrospect? Because what he had alongside him was Ben Stokes. I'm going to talk to you about Stokes and a little bit of Billings.
Yeah, I think 132 against the quality side like India is way too much. Bairstow, I love the way that you've just said he respected form, and he did. This England team have sent the message that they want to play aggressively. They want to play in a flamboyant fashion, possibly in a fashion that's never been seen before in Test match cricket. That is what Ben Stokes and Baz McCullum is trying to achieve. But I thought Johnny Bairstow actually led the way in terms of he played traditionally. He played and respected the ball. He respected the pitch. He knows that if you can get the ball to around 35 overs, old in the UK this season, it becomes very flat. The ball doesn't do anything, and then you can really capitalise. And I hope all the other England players are watching Johnny, because he actually showed last week against New Zealand, when England were 55 for 6, when the ball's hooping around, that you have to be able to defend the good balls. You have to be able to defend those balls that are swinging back in, moving away. You've got to leave the odd ball or two. It's not only about just swinging your hands through the line of the ball and trying to crash it for 4 and 6. He's done that once he's got in, particularly in the last 2 innings. Special player. And I just hope, I'm sure we'll mention Ben Stokes. I hope Ben Stokes tonight is in his room, and that's twice now, twice in 2 innings, and it could have been out. You go back to de Grandhomme at Lords in the first Test of the summer when he was bowled off a no ball dancing down the wicket, Dancing down the wicket for Ben Stokes, if I'm honest, is not working for him. He may hit 1 or 2 good ones, but it's not working for him, and he's a better player than that.
Okay, since you brought it up, I'll fast forward a little bit, and I'll put you on the hot spot, Michael, on that theme. My thesis is that Ben Stokes is a better player than he's allowing himself to be. Ben Stokes is a batsman. He's a batsman the opposition is worried about. He gets in, he can change matches by himself. I think he's becoming a slogger. I think in trying to tell everybody how good he is or the way they're going to play, he's trying to slog everything. Do you think, and I know this was discussed in England, and Kevin Peterson brought that up as well, do you think he's putting enough of a price on his wicket, or is he almost combining audacity and with abandon? Is he moving more towards abandon than audacity and aggression?
Yeah, well, what he's trying to do is walk the walk, because obviously he's talked the talk about this aggressive nature. He's sent the message to the county game that he wants players to be playing flamboyantly with aggression, impacting the game when they've got the bat in hand. He's better than that. He's a better player, and I just don't believe in Test match cricket you can play in one way. I just don't believe that. I don't think. Look at Johnny Bairstow last night. He had to survive. This morning he had to survive. What did he do? He defended, and then he went. Ben Stokes seems to be going far too soon, and he's almost gifting the opposition his wicket. What do I want if I'm playing against Ben Stokes? I want him to play the way that he's playing at the minute, because when you've got quality seamers in Bumrah, Shami, Shardul Thakur, very smart, clever bowlers, Siraj, all very good one-day bowlers as well, so they've got great variations. If you think you can dance down and consistently hit the ball down the ground over the top, I haven't seen anyone in the history of the game do that consistently. All I'd say to him is I love the fact that he's sending a message in terms of this is the style of cricket I want my team to play. So first and foremost, his leadership qualities are outstanding, because I like that. But fundamentally, don't give the opposition what they want. Go and play.
Yeah.
Johnny was playing the Rishabh Pant role. What it needed is Ben Stokes to play the Jadeja role, just hang in there, because India wouldn't have wanted him to play in that fashion. What did India want? They wanted him to play shots, because they knew that 1 or 2 balls would go in the air. They dropped a couple. But if you keep going in that fashion, you're going to give another opportunity. It's the 3rd time this summer that he's been out dancing down. One, he got away with Colin de Grandon, but he could have been out 4 or 5 other times trying it. I don't think it's working for him, and I think he's a better player. I'd like to just give himself a bit longer, get in, and if you go to that star when he's on 30, 40, 50, when there's someone else around with him, no problems whatsoever. But doing it so early in an innings, and it's almost becoming a little bit predictable. When a new bowler comes on, guess what he does? He dances down. So these bowlers aren't daft. They'll know that Ben Stokes will potentially dance down first ball. So what did Thakur bowl? Bounce up, whip past his.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching that game while it was happening, and we thought, right, one ball's gone up. This bowling is really good. I think Michael made the point that this bowling is really good, and you cannot take too many chances against the bowling. You're talking Bumrah, you're talking Siraj, you're talking Shami, who I thought bowled an absolutely fabulous spell. So one's gone up, that's been put down. The other one's been put down as well, and he just gave himself a third. I thought India bowled beautifully. Bumrah evoking respect every single time. 3 for 68. Mohammad Shami 2 for 78. He went past the bat so often. I'd be very interested. I'm going to ask Michael about this as well. Is it the length? Should he be bowling fuller? Because he was bowling far too well to be finishing with just 2 wickets. And then Siraj, who just has his ability to pick up wickets, and Shardul Thakur. I don't know what to say about Shardul Thakur. He makes things happen. But Michael, I wanted your views on Mohammad Shami, because there's some bowlers, they look $1 million, and they don't seem to have as many wickets against their name. But he bowled beautifully today, I thought, Shami.
Yeah, I mean, I do think. I mean, I do think he was very unlucky, and he could have picked up 2 or 3 more wickets. But I think you're right. I think he can just bowl just half a yard forward, particularly with that new ball, because he bowls with great pace. He's got the skill levels to go either way. I just wonder if it's worth him just bowling half a yard fuller. It might open the opportunity for the batters to score a few more off him, but I think it might give him 2 or 3 more opportunities of getting more wickets. So I think he's an outstanding bowler, and I think it might come in the second innings. I said Bumrah's going to be the damage in the first innings. I've seen enough on this surface, Harsha, today that 257 in front now is a long way for England to go and chase that kind of score on this pitch against this attack. India get another 150 and it's 400, which I think it will be. This pitch, as we've seen, Virat's wicket, it bounced off a length. The odd ball's kept low. Spin will come into play. And it may be just in the second innings that Shami gets his rewards.
Well, I mean, there was a time when we called him second innings Shami because his numbers in the second innings were so much better. But I see your point. When he pitched up Fuller, he was a better bowler. He also got Bairstow driving, if you notice, driving and caught at slip. So I think you will definitely see a better Shami in the second innings, if you could be better than what he actually did. But talking of second innings, there's Pujara back in again. Right through this series, he's been very good in the second innings. And at a time when India needed him, he's hanging in there. You know, we say in India that in life you need a Pant and a Pujara. We said that after the Brisbane Test, and we're saying this now. Look at him in the second innings: 45, 91, 61, now 50 not out, and they're just playing so well together. They put on 50 again, and if he continues his vigil, he's probably never going to run away with the game, which is what a Pant could do, or maybe an Iyer if he's batting in long enough, or a Jadeja. But he could just stay in there. There's a lot to like about Pujara.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. I was driving down to Somerset, listening to the Test match on the radio. And I think one of the summarised summed Pujara's innings up. Oh, it's a bit boring, a bit slow. I'm going, wait a minute, that's the Test game that we know. You know, scoring 50 off 140 in conditions that aren't easy is absolutely what you need. You know, you need a player to have a little bit of a stability about the way that he's playing. That allows Rishabh Pant and Kohli to come out and play in an expansive fashion. But give me a Cheshire Pujara in my Test team any day of the week. Give me one of those. Just give me one, because I tell you what, as much as you're scared of Rishabh, Pujara is the kind of glue that every single team needs to just frustrate, wear down the opposing bowlers. Yes, he's not going to crash you for sixes, but he's all the time just jabbing away at the bowlers, just wearing them down, making sure they've not got a huge amount of energy. So when Rishabh comes out, Shirazad, Jadeja later, give me a Pujara any day of the week, Harsha. Yes, I love Bairstow, love Rishabh, entertainers, but I want one Pujara.
Yeah, I mean, he just kept blocking and blocking and blocking Pujara. And from time to time, he would open up. He plays that lovely back foot shot, which he punches through. We haven't seen enough of Leach. He's a wonderful player of spin. If Leach comes on, it might actually be an interesting challenge with him turning the ball away from Pujara, and Pujara, who loves to play through the onside. So it might be interesting. And to think that we thought Pujara might be done. What did Pujara do? He did what Manus Labuschagne did some time back, not to the same extent. Went back to England and said, "Can I get some practice playing in your conditions to be able to play against you?"
Harsha, we're very kind over here. We are the country that keeps giving. Players out of form, out of nick, out of the team, just come here. Just come here. We'll allow you to really model your game again. Just change. He's changed his stance slightly. He's just got a little bit more square on to where the ball's coming from, which is helping him. And getting all those runs for Sussex in these conditions has given India a big, big boost. Anyway, Harsha, let's fast forward.
Okay.
So, Harsha, let's fast forward. India, 257 runs in front. How many are they going to need? How do you think they're going to play it from here? Obviously, the 2-1 up in the series. Are they going to desperately want to win this game to make sure that they win 3-1, get more Test Match Championship points? This England side, the juggernaut, will definitely go for whatever India set them. Where do you see it playing out from here?
I mean, it is up to England to do all the running, but I'd be very disappointed if India didn't want to win the match. I'm almost certain they will try and win this game, but there's so much time available. The forecast is looking pretty good. I know they don't bowl 90 overs in a day anymore, but even if they bowl 83, 84 overs, you're looking at about 165, 170 overs in the game. I won't be surprised if Pant starts to go for it a little bit more. Ordinarily, you would say 350, Michael. I mean, you know the conditions far, far better than I do, but ordinarily you would say 350. Against this England side, even though India is such a good bowling side, they might want a little bit more. I don't know if they'll declare. They don't need to, But I think if they can get past 375, 380, they'll start to feel a little more comfortable. But my question for you as a follow-up to that is, do you see a role for Jadeja in the second innings at all? Or do you still think it will just be the four-seamers trying to win the game for India?
Oh, I think the four seamers will do some damage inside the first 25 overs. I've seen enough today in terms of the uneven bounce. There'll certainly be movement there. So I do think they'll cause damage in the first 25, but they've also got the backup. This is the difference from playing New Zealand to what they're playing against this week in India. The England side against New Zealand knew they didn't have a spinner, so they didn't have to worry about spin. And also, Carl Jamieson in the second test got injured, and New Zealand got the wrong team. They only had three seamers at Headingley. So this England side playing this way is exciting. It's flamboyant. I'll back it because I want to watch it, but I do think this week they'll come unstuck. I've actually watched them quite close this week, and I feel the tactics haven't been quite right in the field. I think they've kind of let the foot off the gas too often. And with the bat in hand today, a few of the old traits, or yesterday and today, a few of the old traits has come back to haunt them when they're facing real quality. You can try and play the expansive way, but it's difficult. And I see nothing. I'll be honest with you, Harsha. I see nothing but an India win. And England have surprised me this summer with, coming back from positions where you go, they've gone, they can't win the game, and they may do here, but I just don't see that against this Indian attack on this kind of surface. I see nothing but an Indian victory.
Okay, you said Bumrah in the first innings, he caused the damage. You're saying Shami in the second innings. One of the great advantages of having Michael on this program is while we have our banter, we can get him to put his successful captain's hat on. You're in the India camp. How many sessions are you giving your bowlers to win this game for you, if indeed you had the option of setting that target?
Oh, I'd want at least four. I think if India bat well in the first two sessions, they should be able to score another 170, 180 runs. And that's going to be plenty. So that gives you at least four sessions. And if Rishabh gets going in the morning and Jadeja, Shreyas Iyer, they could easily give England that tricky 20, 30 minutes before tea. If they play really aggressively, I see 420, 425, and then you pull out and you say to England, because you know what England are going to do, they're going to have a swing at it. And playing that way on this wicket, it's going to be very, very difficult. So India in the box seat, I think they'll definitely want four sessions, if not a cheeky little half an hour before tea.
Okay, we'll wait and see. The game sometimes has a habit of charting its own course. And who knows, you might just get a very tricky 370, 380 chase. We'll wait and see. Lots to look forward to on day 4. And of course, at the end of it all, we'll get Michael and me, wherever he is, driving around some part of England, but ready to speak to us as well.
I'm staying here. I'm in Somerset for 4 days.
There you go. In Somerset. We'll get Michael to join us from there at the end of the day for goodbye for now.